The Democratic Party has ruled on what to do with delegates from Florida and Michigan. I give that ruling 2 thumbs up and 1 thumb down. I bet you didn't know I had 3 thumbs. Florida! They're going to leave the results as they were and seat all of the delegates at the convention. But, as a penalty for breaking the rules, each delegate will get half a vote. Good. They recognize the election as legitimate and diminish its strength because, well, they broke the rules and they held that election under questionable conditions that, well, we could definitely do better in the United States of America. The result? A moderate penalty with the proportion still intact. Michigan. In Michigan, they also seated the delegates at half strength, which is consistent with Florida and good for the same reason. But then they took the official result, which was 0 for Obama because he wasn't on the ballot, and they just handed him a bunch of delegates. Literally, they just handed it to him. They gave him the ones that were uncommitted, and then they actually shaved off 4 of Clinton's delegates just to bring the margin a little bit closer. This, my dears, is ridiculous. Obama wanted the delegates split 50-50, which means their rigged election was meaningless. Good. Clinton wanted the results recognized fully and her big win to be made official. Not great, but somehow, a defensible position in some degree. But the final ruling was to go halfway in between these positions, create a whole new scenario, and give Clinton a small win. Why is this a horrible idea? Because when the question is, which it was, at least in part, did they hold a democratic election? The answer is either yes or no. And they can weight the result relative to other elections, which is very common, but you either recognize the proportion of votes or not. You don't make up an imaginary result. And for comparison, pretend you're sitting on a jury in a murder case. This guy is either guilty and he spends his life in jail, or he's not guilty and he's free. You don't come back and say, we think he's kind of guilty, so we're just going to convict him of tax fraud and send him to prison for 10 years. No, he either did it or not. Michigan should be recognized in proportion or not. Now, I think the answer is not, but either one would be better than going with some imaginary and frankly cowardly scenario that did not happen in the real world at all. So thumbs down to that. Now, I've got 1 thumb left, and it's pointing up, and that's for the fact that this is finally decided. It didn't cement the nomination because, frankly, that was already decided. Even the best result for Clinton would have left her with an untraversable gulf. But we needed to do this, and we finally did it. It should have happened earlier, honestly. Further reflection on this ruling will happen, in the months and maybe years to come, and I hope in the clarity of hindsight they see the mistake in this Michigan decision. A couple other things. It was nice to see the process. It was open, public, frank, and passionate. Don't be afraid of that. Politics should get your adrenaline up. It should mean a lot to us. And displays of raw human drama are the kind of thing that get more people involved in politics. When it's not just, smiles and babies and flags, but grit and rigor and passion. I welcome that, and I believe it's one of the reasons new Democratic voter registration is doing so very well. Will this fight hurt us in the long run? It will if we continue to allow older white women to feel like they've been thrown out. So we have to cooperate, we've got to mend fences, and we have to make them know that we respect them and we need them. If we do that, the net effect of all of this madness will be very good. Last thing, I've been a little less diligent with replying to comments and messages recently. The number of them is picking up, and other things in my life are taking up some time, but just like those older white women, I respect and need you. I certainly read all of what you write, and please keep commenting and reading each other's comments because there are a lot of smart people in this group. That's all for now. See you soon.